Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are doing something really fun. We are completely demystifying the world of adult tennis. Have you ever watched a match on TV and thought, man, I would love to learn how to do that, but then immediately felt totally overwhelmed by where to even begin? Well, you are in the perfect place. We are going to dismantle all those mental roadblocks and logistical hurdles of learning tennis as an adult, drawing directly from a comprehensive guide to adult tennis lessons. Let's be totally honest for a second. Learning tennis as an adult feels completely different than learning as a kid. And why is that? Mostly because as adults, we are terrified of looking foolish in front of strangers. You might be overthinking the mechanics, or wondering if you're too old, or maybe too uncoordinated to actually get good at this. It's super intimidating to step onto a court for the first time. But we are going to look at exactly why those insecurities are largely unfounded, and how finding the right approach changes everything. To get you out on the court with confidence, here is our game plan for today. First, we'll look at the adult advantage. Second, overcoming fears. Third, the player timeline. Fourth, program types and costs. And finally, choosing the right program. Let's jump right in. Okay, let's dive into section 1, the adult advantage. Seriously, why do grown-ups actually learn faster? There is this huge myth out there that kids are just these magical sponges and adults simply can't pick up new sports. But guess what? Adults actually often learn tennis much faster than children. The challenge isn't your physical ability. It's finding a program that doesn't just treat you like an oversized kid. Kids respond incredibly well to simple, do-it-like-this demonstrations. They're basically golden retrievers chasing a ball. Adults, we are completely different. We need the instruction manual. We crave the why. For an adult, explaining that the contact point affects the ball's trajectory makes way more sense than just yelling, hit it earlier. Plus, we can actually focus on one specific drill for 15 minutes straight without getting bored, provided the coach explains how it translates to an actual game. We don't need constant playground games. We need deliberate, focused practice. Moving right along to section 2, overcoming your tennis fears. Let's separate the myths from reality and tackle those specific mental roadblocks keeping analytical adults off the court. All right, so here is the #1 anxiety beginners have. I will look completely foolish in front of other people. It's that dread of swinging wildly, missing the ball entirely, and feeling everyone's eyes locked right on you. But here is the reality check, and it's a big one. Everyone misses. Literally everyone, especially when you are just starting out. Hand-eye coordination improves with practice, and beginners universally miss more balls than they hit during those first few lessons. And here is the best part. Beginner classes contain only other beginners. They are struggling with the exact same awkward swings and timing issues that you are. Trust me, absolutely nobody is judging you because they are way too busy trying to figure out their own footwork. Then there is this massive roadblock, the classic age myth. I'm too old to learn a new sport. This one thought stops so many potential players dead in their tracks before they even pick up a racket. Well, scratch that, because the reality is tennis has absolutely no functional age limit for recreational play. People routinely start in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and honestly, even beyond that. Now, sure, let's manage our expectations a bit here. You're probably not going to become a highly ranked tournament player starting at 45. But can you develop the skills for super enjoyable social tennis and recreational matches? Absolutely. It is literally never too late to start. Let's move in to section 3, the realistic player timeline. Let's appeal to that analytical side and map out exactly what to expect week by week to completely remove that fear of the unknown. A competent beginner program follows a highly structured progression. What actually happens in weeks 1 through 4? You are focusing purely on fundamental mechanics. We're talking proper grip, finding your contact point, basic footwork, and a simple serve motion. You're mostly hitting balls fed directly to you by the coach, so you won't be sustaining any crazy rallies yet. Then, moving into weeks 5 through 8, the focus shifts to building consistency. You start hitting with other students instead of just the coach, you learn topspin, and you'll start stringing together short rallies of maybe 4 to 6 shots. Finally, weeks 9 through 16 are all about match preparation. You learn basic strategy like when to approach the net and how to keep score. By the end of this phase, you are playing real, recognizable, friendly matches. And this brilliantly illustrates what those realistic milestones actually look like in practice. After 4 to 6 lessons, you're just making consistent contact on fed balls. After 12 to 16 lessons, you're rallying for a few shots and playing those casual matches. Fast forward to 6 months of weekly play, and your ground strokes start to actually feel natural, with rallies stretching to 8 or 12 shots. And after 1 to 2 years, you are a solid recreational player who can totally hold their own. Technical hiccups will still pop up, sure, but they won't stop you from having an absolute blast out there. Now, let's pivot to Section 4, Program Types and Costs. Time to talk logistics and the bottom line. What's really interesting here is how much the format impacts both the price and the quality of instruction. Looking at the Glendale area as an example, city recreation programs are your most budget-friendly bet, running about $150 to $200 for an 8-week session. The catch? You'll be in much larger groups of 8 to 12 students. Private academy group programs run around $200 to $350 a month, but you get those coveted small groups and a really structured progression. And if you want total focus, private lessons are roughly $75 to $95 an hour. This is one-on-one focus, which is absolutely perfect if you have highly irregular schedules or very specific technique problems you need to fix. Beyond the actual lessons, you'll need to budget for a little bit of gear. Plan on $80 to $150 for your first racket. You definitely don't need expensive pro gear, but you really want to avoid those bottom-shelf $30 rackets that literally make learning harder. For footwear, budget $60 to $100 for proper tennis shoes. Your regular running shoes lack the vital lateral support needed for all that side-to-side tennis movement. But here is a massive pro tip for you. Wait until after your very first lesson to buy a racket. Most programs have loaner rackets you can use, and your instructor can help you find the exact weight and grip size you need so you don't end up wasting money buying the wrong specs online. Okay, home stretch. Section 5, choosing the right program. How do you actually evaluate a local tennis academy? So the absolutely crucial point here is this magic number, 4 to 6. When you're asking a facility about their maximum class size, 4 to 6 students per court is the golden setup. 8 is acceptable, but honestly, anything more than 8 means you're going to spend half the class standing in line waiting to hit, and getting very minimal individual feedback from the coach. When you are calling up these programs, keep this practical checklist of questions handy. First, are classes grouped by true skill level? You do not want to be a day 1 beginner mixed with intermediate players just because the facility needed to fill a time slot. Second, what is the makeup policy for missed classes? Adult schedules require flexibility. Meetings run late, kids get sick. The best programs totally understand this and allow makeups in other beginner classes. And finally, can you try before committing? Quality programs will absolutely let you evaluate their teaching style and the group dynamics before you purchase a large, expensive package. The source material actually points out a great local example of this, the 3015 Tennis Academy in Glendale, California. According to the guide, this academy specifically caters to those adult learning principles we've been talking about. They offer that structured, step-by-step progression, they cap their groups at that ideal small size of 4 to 6 for maximum feedback, and they even provide a free trial class so you can make sure their approach actually fits your learning style with zero upfront commitment. Which brings us to the end of our explainer today, and I want to leave you with one final, totally provocative question to think about. Are you willing to miss a lot of balls this month to become the tennis player you want to be a year from now? Think about it. You don't need natural athleticism to start. You just need a program actually designed for adult learners, some realistic expectations, and the willingness to accept that missing a few balls is just part of the process. I really hope this structured look at adult tennis gives you the confidence to get out on the court and start your journey. Thanks for joining us.